ASMR video, and I had a few people asking me to do some more childhood stories, so I thought, okay, I'll do that. Now, as you may or may not know, I did buy this a little while back. I was in CX, and this was in there. This is the Superman box set, and it's got all of them in here. It's got the normal theatrical cut of Superman. It's got the extended cut, Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, Superman 3, Superman 4, and Superman Returns. But very nice, as you can see. It's got a really nice cover, and this is what got me thinking. As you can see, it opens up and there's all the discs, which is really cool. And here is where the childhood stories come into it. Is I had a Blu-ray disc. It's like a 5-inch disc. When I was a kid, my dad had a 16mm projector, and the reels were at least 12 inches, and that only held a third of the film, so you'd need at least 3 of these reels. So you used to put the big reel on, thread it up, unless you had a really cool one that did it itself, but we didn't have that. Thread it all up, and we would watch films that way, and then the first reel would finish and we'd put the second reel on, watch that, and then that would finish and we'd put the third reel on, and then after that you would rewind it. You'd have to rewind all the reels after, you know. Anyway, after a while we had something called Super 8mm. So there was 8mm, which was called Standard 8, and then 8mm Super 8. And what they did with these to make things easier is you could either buy almost the entire film, which again would be over 4 reels of film, or you could buy the abridged versions, and what they were like sort of 20-minute versions of the entire film. Sometimes not even the entire film, but you had it all on one reel, so you put it on, and you either threaded it up or you had an automatic feeder, so you put it in, it went and come out the back, and then you put that in the back empty reel, and then it went off, and then you could watch a film for about 20 minutes. It wasn't always the complete film, because I remember finally getting my own projector, and my dad bought me That Will Be the Day with David Essex, because I loved David Essex at the time. So that was about, again, it's like 20 minutes of the film, sort of abridged, trying to put as much of the full filming as you can, you know, for it to make sense. So I had that. Then I had Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta, because I was a big fan of that and wasn't allowed to see it at the time because it was an X certificate, which meant, you know, you had to be 18 or over to watch it. But then I got this abridged version of it on Super 8mm, so I used to watch them. And then, I mean, the only one I can actually remember was Star Wars. I got Star Wars, and when I got Star Wars ended was when they escape from the Death Star and have the fight, you know, with the Imperial fighters, you know, the little spaceship things, and they blast them all with the guns, and they go, "We did it," you know. And then you've got C3PO. Is it not C3PO? Oh, yeah, C3PO. And he's there going, "Oh help, I think I'm melting. You know, this is all your fault." And R2 goes, "What?" And that's when it finished. So that was it. That was the way they worked, and it was a really cool thing. But when I think of these and what you have now, it's incredible. You know, you should have these little abridged versions, about 20 minutes long, of a film. You know, and even if you bought it complete, because my dad had, can't remember what one he had, but he had it, and it was 4 reels, or 3 reels, 3 or 4 reels. But you still, in total, only had about an hour or so of the film. So you never got the sort of full length film. But yeah, I had Star Wars, I had That'll Be the Day, Saturday Night Fever. There was like all these really cool films anyway that were like available to buy. That was the other one. It was The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, brilliant film. I loved it. I remember when my dad took me to the cinema to see it, and we watched it, and I loved it, and I wanted to watch it again. So I said to my dad, "Can I watch it again?" Not understanding how cinemas work, you know. He would have had to have took me out, come back in, paid again. So he just said, alright, he went, "Just sit there." He said, "I'm going to go to the toilet." So he went to the toilet, and then just come back and sat down with me. And it was cool because we just waited then for it to show again. So I got to see it twice, which was really, really cool. But they brought that out on 8mm, and I think there was 4. They brought them out separately, and you had to buy them all separately. So I had the first bit where they find the island, and you have the Cyclops. Then there was another one where the Cyclops captures them all, and he's picking them up and putting them on the spit. Oh, guys, if you've never seen it, it's so good, and it's so funny now, because you got the Cyclops, who was my favourite monster, and he's got this bloke on a spit, you know, over a fire, and he's turning him, and the guy's going, oh, and he's all tied up to this thing, and he's going, and he's licking his lips because he's hungry and he's going to eat him. Oh, it's so funny. Not for the bloke, I'm sure, but and then I think you had another one that showed another bit of the film, and then finally you had the dragon, fight with it, which is brilliant. Yeah, so again, you know, it wasn't the entire film. Again, probably only 40 to 50 minutes maybe of it, but that's how it worked back then, you know, unless it came on the TV. And on the TV they would censor everything, even Goldfinger. For many years it was always on, mostly at Christmas, and you'd have Goldfinger on, and they'd put it on. And I don't know if you know the bit where at the beginning he sort of has a fight with someone and he falls in this bath, and there's this heater, electric heater on the side, and the guy grabs James Bond's gun and he goes to shoot him, and Bond whacks the heater into him, and then he gets fried. They always cut that out. You never actually see it go in the tub and watch the guy get electrocuted. So that was the thing. You know, we only had 3 channels on our TVs, and then when they showed films, they were cut to pieces. I remember watching Dirty Harry. They had Dirty Harry on one night, and I'd always watched it on the TV, and it wasn't until I watched it on VHS, when we got VHS, and I thought, oh my goodness me, I'd never seen any of these bits on the TV. And that was the thing, is like everything was censored and everything was abridged if you wanted to watch it. But yeah, I mean, there were still great times though, you know, putting the old reel on, threadling it up, and then starting it, shining it on a little screen. I don't even know if I had a screen. I might have had just a little bit of white card and used to shine it on that. But you know, they were great times. But yeah, that's how it worked for me back in the day, and that's the thing, to have this now. And the thing is, I watched Superman 2 on this, but then Superman 2 is now on, I think it's on Amazon, it's on Prime, but it's a new print of it, like a remastered one, because it looks way better than that one. So yeah, but to just watch them, the quality that you get, the size you get now, because TVs are huge, you know. I mean, my TV is sort of 43 inch, because I only have a small living room, but that was considered back, you know, in the day, I mean, you couldn't get a 43 inch CRT TV, you couldn't get one, but now we've got 43 inch, and the picture is absolutely superb on it. Amazing picture, you know, sharp, detailed, the colour, and I've said about Titanic, guys, if you haven't seen Titanic on whatever it is, whether it's 4K, I'm pretty sure it's 4K, because when I watch it in Dolby Vision on Disney Plus, and it's in 4K, and the old woman in it, when she looks at the TV, when she sees the drawing of her, it's terrifyingly good. But yeah, but we didn't sort of have that back in the day, you know, so that was my sort of childhood when it came to watching stuff, you know. Is it either come on the TV and you had to watch it there and then, you know, you can record it or save it. I mean, now you just was okay, because then you had the entire movie on a cassette, and you watched that, and then but the quality wasn't very good, but we didn't care because we didn't have the quality yet. It wasn't until you got, because you went from VHS to Super VHS, and that looked better. Then we went Laserdisc. They brought back Laserdiscs. They had S-video out on them, which improved picture quality, and they looked brilliant for the time. You just didn't realise DVD was coming, and then DVD looked great on CRT. Then they changed TVs to like plasma and LED and LCD. Well, LED, LCD is the same thing, but you know, now, because the sort of original LED TVs were really quite awful. The blacks were grey, and that's what I used to hate about them. You lost all the contrast in the dark scenes, but now they got so much better. You know, and also you've got OLED now and mini LED, and that's fantastic. But yeah, back in the day, that's all we had. You know, 8mm, Super 8mm, and that was your lot, you know. But it was still great. Great times. Oh, I do miss them. I miss being a kid sometimes, because I did have a lot of fun, especially with that. You know, filling up the old projector. You know, now it's just so easy. You know, it's like renting a film. You know, rent a film, you just sit in your armchair and you rent it. But you know, you used to have to go to Blockbusters and look around, as it was massive, had loads of games and films. You know, and you'd rent it on a Friday, no, on a Saturday. Then you didn't have to give it back till the Monday, which was brilliant. Oh, I'm going on like an old man. I can hear the birds. Oh, it's nice. It's not nice, but the birds are singing. I think, you know, nature, all the things like birds singing, daffodils coming out, you know, plants growing. But the weather isn't adjusting for it. The weather's still cold and wet and horrible. But anyway, this is a very relaxing ASMR with gum chewing. Yeah, so I thought I'd tell you about